Sunshine's Corner, being brought to you by Quint and Richie Studer. And it is a beautiful Friday morning, as I can say to you, good morning. And you know I say it every Friday. Oh, it's Friday. It's Friday. We've made it through another beautiful week. And you know what? Today, you stepped into the right place, and that is Sunshine's Corner. I always remind you of what this show is all about. This is the place, whatever it is that you see, that you want to know about, even if it's a difficult conversation, this is a safe place where you can have that conversation right here on Sunshine's Corner. We are a community, totally about the community, what we can do to make a difference. And you know, collectively, and I say this every single day, if we would learn to put all of our resources together, we can master and do anything we desire. Keeping you informed on what's happening in and around, allowing you to be a part of the conversation, because this show will be nothing without you. Always know that you've got the opportunity. You can call in at 850-432-7768, interact with our guest, and find out things that you would say, that's one of those Arsenio's. I didn't know that. But listen to this. Today, it is no different. We've got a young man that's on with us today that's doing great things in the community. And I'm talking about from children all the way up. We've got Mr. Donte Sheppard. He's with the Studer Community Institute right here in Pensacola. And he's working with, I love it when they say brain power. That's what we're talking about. Good morning, Donte. It's so glad to have you here with me to talk about all of this brain power you got.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be with you this morning, Sunshine. And yes, definitely a lot of brain power. It's so important that we invest in our brain.
Yes, it is.
And we got a lot to talk about, and we'll share what that really means for our children and for the overall success of our community.
Absolutely. Did you hear that? This is for, I tell you this all the time. We need to impart into our children even before birth. And you know, sometimes I remember when I was in that birthing age, no more, how it's all so good to even start reading and talking to your child before your child even enters this world.
You are correct.
And you know, I got to say this, Donte. Thank you for opening my eyes to some things about this brain power, this building the brain, when I had the opportunity to go out with you a couple of times. But I don't want to jump the horse too far ahead of the carriage. We're going to allow Donte to tell you what it is that he does and brings to the table with the Studer Community Institute about building your brain.
Well, thank you so much, Sunshine. Well, I am the program manager over the Building Brains program here at Studer Community Institute, and most people know it as, in the past, as just the brain bags.
Right.
They're located at 3 of our main hospitals, Ascension Sacred Heart, Baptist, HCA, Florida West, as well as over in Santa Rosa County, Santa Rosa Medical Center.
Okay.
And so what we try to do here, though, is we expanded that from just focusing on what we call a brain bag, and we'll take the time out to look at the resources that are provided in there. But our goal is to inform, equip, and support parents.
Right.
It's really important that they understand the importance of brain development, that they can and must control the development of their children's brain so that they'll have success. I really do believe that parents, they have 2 celebratory moments that all parents, no matter their socioeconomic background, no matter their situation, everybody wants to celebrate a birthday.
Don't you know it?
All right. Doesn't matter with their kids. And then everybody wants to celebrate academic success.
All the time.
You know, and if we don't invest in informing our parents on how they can do that, they'll miss that opportunity.
Absolutely.
And so we get a chance to do that from the womb. They can invest in their baby, and that's really about language.
Yes.
I know you're really into health, and you work out, and you look great too, by the way.
Thank you.
Nutrition is important.
Yes, it is.
You can't just go work out and not eat right.
Say that again.
Really important. Well, you can't just raise your child and not give them language nutrition.
That's right.
So you can feed them, you can clothe them, but if you don't feed their minds, then they are malnourished in how they communicate. And so we want to empower them by giving them language. And so you need to talk to them.
God, yes.
It's really important that parents spend that time.
Not just this.
Nope, you can't just spend time on the cell phone.
Right.
And contrary to most belief, I think parents want to do well, so they don't just hand them the phone all the time.
Right.
They hand it to them, and they put on educational apps and videos and things. but that doesn't build language. That's working on the opposite end of your brain, and that's more entertainment than actual learning.
Right.
And so they need to invest in language, talking, reading, and interacting. So we try to inform those parents. We have a video that we show them, and it's called a Build a Brain video. And it simplifies that process for a parent so that they can understand it in about 4.5 minutes on how they can support their child.
You see what I'm saying when we're talking about the information that you need? This is where you need to tune in. So listen, I want to inform you that we're going to play this video today, and we're going to then, once we do the video, we're going to come back and talk with Donte more about how he has taken hold of this. I can see it in his face that he is so, he has it all to the core because you see the difference that it makes.
Oh, I definitely do.
You know, and once upon a time, I'll be honest, I said, is that really going to work? You know, until you learn. What did you do? I had to build the brain to get the understanding, to see how it does work.
And you can inform just because you've had kids already.
That's right.
Doesn't mean you can't learn more about this process.
Absolutely.
Every day we're continuously learning about how we can help our children even more. And so I even encourage parents who have older children that you still need to practice a lot of these techniques to help your child.
And you see, even that, hey, maybe help with your grandchildren. I mean, you can do that part as well.
Yes, you can.
But what I want to also convey, and I want to convey this strongly, is the fact that let's not walk away from the opportunity that's here for you, because I see the legwork you put into this. It's a lot because you see the results that are happening from your work with this building your brain power. And you know, sometimes when there's a lack of, be open to learn. You know, you be receptive to learn, because as you do, then you're going to want more. You want to learn more. And here's a program that's set up right here at home. For you. And when I found out that they keep in touch with you throughout and on as the child is developing.
Yes. So you're speaking of our text messaging program. So that's that support. I told you that we approach this thing from a 3-prong approach: inform, equip, support. We're going to inform them through the information. We're going to equip them with our brain bag, and we'll get a chance to go through our brain bag and show our resources. But we support them through our text messaging service, because we all get busy, Sonshine.
Yes,
we get busy. Sometimes we forget to do the essential things for ourselves and even our children. And with this text message, it's called The Basics. It was developed by Dr. Ron Ferguson, Boston University. And what he wanted to do is make sure that parents will get nudges or reminders on the simple things they can do with their child. So it sends them a tip and an activity on how they could develop their child's brain. And it is age appropriate. So if you have a child who's younger than 1 year old, then they're going to give you activities and tips for that child. But if you have a child who is almost 3 years old, you're going to get tips and activities for that child as well. And every day, as simple as walking down the street and counting the flowers, like these beautiful flowers on your table, Sonshine. And telling them the colors of those flowers, and even acting out how it smells helps that child. That's sensory development. And so we want to do all of those things with our children, and that's what that text message does for them.
Absolutely. You know what you did this thing? Now, you know, look, let's go back a few years ago, a long time ago. But how I taught my son, when we leave home in the mornings, we count the steps. Okay? And the afternoon when we walk up the steps, you had to do your ABCs.
I love it.
But that was now that just hit me as I was doing that back then.
And he'll never forget that.
He never ever does.
I'm telling you.
In the car when we were riding, what does that cow say? Is that a cow? Is that a horse? But I was doing that. And wow. Maybe I should write a book.
You should. Everyone else writes a book about what they've learned and what they've done, and others learn from you. You know? And so I think that's really important. That's really how we learn so much. Even, you know, Quint knew a lot about how we could make Pensacola healthy.
Most certainly.
But starting off, he thought that we needed to start with the graduation rate. And so later he found out through linking up with Dr. Dana Suskin, and she began to explain to him the research he was doing on language development. And she wrote a book, by the way.
We're talking about a book.
30 million words. And
wow.
what they focused on was that a child that comes from a low socioeconomic situation, and a child that comes from more of a middle class home, maybe even two-parent home, there is a gap of 30 million words that child would hear. Who comes from the low socioeconomic household. Yes.
Really? That's amazing. Now, let me ask a question off the top. Is that book in that bag?
No, that book is not in that bag. All right? The book is not in the bag.
I got you. But that's amazing.
Yeah.
The difference in
the language.
The language that you
and what
use.
they hear and how they develop.
Absolutely,
and so
absolutely.
It's really important that if you are in a situation that you might not have is the same amount of time, because your parent might work several jobs.
Absolutely.
That we still practice these things, and we make sure that the people that are around them throughout the day, because somebody's taking care of your child.
Got to be.
If you're working 2-3 jobs.
That's right.
But they understand that I don't want my child just sitting in front of the TV while you quote unquote babysit them. I need you to interact with them. I need you to talk to them. I need you to read to them. I need you to take them outside and play. And so if you can do that, you can gain some ground in this gap.
Absolutely.
Because this gap really can determine the trajectory of their educational potential.
Most certainly. And I think that's great, because I'm thinking as you speak, right, how you see some kids, their vocabulary is limited.
Yes.
And I'm thinking about the difference in the words that they can, oh, wow, huh, yeah, what's your name?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. And that's where we as adults, we need to do a better job as a village.
Exactly.
That
Say that again, that village.
At the village, that
That's
a parent don't be offended.
That's right.
If you ask a young man or young lady their name at 2 and 3 years old, and they say, they just kind of babble it.
Right.
And you say, no, your name is Jonathan.
Right.
And you break that name down for them, or you ask them to give you a little more when they communicate with you. You're just trying to develop them. You're not trying to offend. You're not trying to attack the parent for a lack of development there. But there was a gap, and we need to fill that gap.
And you know what I want to say to the parents today, for those who are tuning in? Listen to this. It's not, and I'm with you 100%, because sometimes parents do get offended. It's all in love that this is being done. It's only going to help you with your child. I think that when a child at 2 years old, they should know their name, their phone number, their address. Do these games or do these things that can incorporate that. I know that because I did it.
Yes.
It can help with a child. And I see sometimes, let's say if your child was lost. What's your mother's name? Mama. No, what's your mother's name? Mama. That's not your mother's name.
Nope.
You understand what I'm saying?
How do we help? My grandmother took us in when we were little, roughly 3 years old.
Right.
Until this day, she has the same phone number that I remember, 850-434-9340. She would say that over and over to us.
Yes.
525 North 67. She
That's
would
right.
say that over and over again. And if you want to send her flowers, you're more than welcome, since I said the address.
That's right.
But she did that. Those type of games that, 40 years later, I still know. Now, you can ask a lot of people what's their address when they were a kid, and they probably can't remember.
Exactly.
If you ask them
that
what was the
number?
home phone number, they can't remember.
That's
if
right.
they didn't get an opportunity to do those type of games.
No doubt about it.
So that's really important.
Absolutely. You see the importance of education. I call it educating the baby in the womb. I mean, but the importance of, knowledge. Even with the parents, I want to reiterate what you said about the feeling, it's nothing negative.
Nope.
Let's take everything that we could turn into a positive and use it.
Yes.
Because it's only going to better the kids.
Yes.
I think when you install this and instill it into a child, that's going to even reflect back on you, because that's going to say, okay, mom is taking that time, so mom got to take a little bit more so I can make my child even better.
Yes.
Equipped for what they're going to run into.
I agree. And if you allow others to invest in your child, if you are struggling financially, and someone said, hey, I'm going to help you, most of us wouldn't turn down that help.
That's right.
So if your child is struggling language-wise or academically, don't reject someone supporting your child.
Absolutely.
And we had to do that. Me and my wife don't have biological children,
Right.
but we took my sister in when she was 9 years old.
Right.
And it was amazing to see. My mother had me at 15 years old, Sunshine. I've stepped in rooms with parents or teenage parents at some of our hospitals, and you already expect for them not to know how to do some things. But my mother had my sister at 40 years old. You would not expect her not to know what to do.
Right.
But she still did not know what to do.
I'm here to tell you.
And so my sister, I would say, was worse off than I was because my mother was young and full of energy in her teens and her early 20s. So even if she didn't know exactly what to do, she could obtain the resources to do it, or she could communicate with the people to do it.
Right.
You fast forward that 35 years later, 25 years later, you can't even fathom how my mother may be feeling now. She dealt with drug abuse. She dealt with struggles in her life. And now she's a 40-year-old woman with a baby.
Oh, God.
You know, can you just imagine? And she struggled with developing my sister. So she was 2 years behind when we got her. And so we could not say, oh, well, I know it all. I began to reach out to resources in our community and say, how can I help my sister?
Absolutely.
That now she is a thriving student, 3.78 GPA.
Come on. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
At Catholic High School, she's the treasurer of her 10th grade class.
Right.
She's participating in cheer, made varsity
Come on.
as a 10th grader. Shows her leadership and her work ethic. And she participates in track.
That's
she has came a long way academically. But we even had to tell her, when you are struggling, you need to ask for help.
Always.
And so we all need to do the same thing.
Amen. I agree. Ask for help. You stay right there, because when we come back, we're going to share that video.
Okay.
And we're going to talk about some other things with this brain power bag. It's growing. It's exploding right now. Be a part of the conversation, okay? 850-432-7768 right here, Sunshine's Corner on Blab TV.
Empire Truck Sales, located at 2255 West Detroit Boulevard in Pensacola, is your Freightliner, Western Star, Detroit Diesel, and Cummins dealer for Northwest Florida. Open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., Saturdays and Sundays, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., providing sales, service, and parts. Empire Truck Sales is also your Oasis dealer for Freightliner custom chassis RV and motorhome repairs. Running I-10 will get you in.
Many who consider facial plastic surgery are concerned their results will look unnatural. But with over 20 years of serving the Pensacola community, his thousands of satisfied patients have made Dr. Derek Jones a trusted reconstructive and facial plastic surgeon known for industry-leading results that look natural. Call 850-484-FACE to schedule a consultation at one of our locations in Pensacola and Gulf Breeze.
I'm Dr. Derek Jones. Trust your face to a facial plastic surgeon.
Lloyd's Glass and Correct Calibration Services is a one-stop shop because you can come get your windshield replaced, and right behind that replacement at the same appointment, we will calibrate the cameras, and when you leave, everything's ready to go. There's no need to go to the dealership, or there's no need to come back for another appointment. We just take care of it at one time. We put the customer first, and we strive to do everything right the first time.
Lloyd's Glass and Correct Calibration Services, your one-stop shop with same-day service.
There are many reasons someone may need in-home care, whether it may be respite care, them recovering from surgery, or having a chronic condition. Having someone dedicated and reliable is imperative. Supplemental Support Care Services was created to provide to those who are in need with quality care that they deserve in the home. Taking it a step further, our main goal is to ensure that Supplemental Support Care Services is where the love and care is top priority.
And welcome back to Sunshine's Corner, the Friday edition. Yay, it's Friday. You see, I have to leave you with a bang on Friday, something to think about over the weekend. Donte Sheppard here he's the program manager with the Studer Community Institute with the Building Your Brain Power. And we're talking about building, you know what I also see with this, Donte?
What's that?
Parents, don't be afraid, you got to build yours too. How can you help the child if you don't build yours?
That's it.
Okay.
That's it. I would encourage parents, start reading.
Start reading.
It's never too late to read. And I push for it all the time. If you don't do anything else, get you 15 minutes a day.
At least.
Yep. Find you something that you like. I encourage that you find an entertaining book, and you also find a self-help book. And you begin to read it 15 minutes. After a while, you'll build up that you can do more. But if you just do 15 minutes, you'll get through a couple books a year.
Absolutely. Something that was impressive to me when we went to the hospital was the fact the young lady that the first room we went into, when she was talking about the use with her 9-year-old, how it's also beneficial now that what she learned, they're applying it to the new baby. How they're working together. I think that's amazing. So that, you know, it trickles down.
Yes, and you know, that's what we want to encourage. We want parents to make this a family thing. It's not just on you. So if you do have older children, you want to include them into the process. So her saying she gets her 9-year-old to already talk to her to her baby. She was talking to her while she was in her belly, and now she's going to have her read to her baby. That's what you want to do, because again, it's all about the language. They need to hear words. They need to feel you. They need to interact, and that's how that baby's going to develop.
Absolutely. And just as promised, we're going to go do that video.
Okay.
So we can come back and talk about it. So we're going to go, it's the brain power, the Build Your Brain video that we're going to first.
Yep.
So everybody sit back and it's only 4 minutes now. Get a pen, take notes. We'll be back right after the video.
The birth of a baby is an exciting time. It's also a stressful time. Parents are anxious to make the best decisions for their child's development. That's where the Studer Community Institute's in-hospital program steps in.
Hey guys, this is a little gift from us to you guys. It's from the Studer Community Institute. It's called the Brain Bag.
The Brain Bag is filled with resources and is provided in conjunction with the Build a Brain video that is designed to encourage and educate parents on how to develop their baby's brain from day one.
Parenthood is the biggest adventure in your life. There's a lot you can do to keep your baby safe, happy, and healthy in the first 3 years.
It's all part of SCI's early brain development initiatives and the drive to make Pensacola America's first early learning city. Research shows 85% of a child's brain is developed in the first 3 years of life, a pivotal time to help a child become the best they can be. The video and Brain Bag are available to new parents at all 3 Pensacola hospitals, Ascension Sacred Heart, Baptist, and HCA Florida West, as well as the Santa Rosa Medical Center. A lot goes into making it happen. Before we can start helping build a baby's brain, someone needs to build the brain bags. The job is done at Art Gateway, a nonprofit that provides services and opportunities for people with developmental disabilities. Art Gateway clients assemble the bags, a win on many levels.
It's good fun, and you're making for a good cause. You know, we help out some new mothers to be, and then it keeps me busy, and then make money on the side. I'm glad we got this. We need more. What's up?
We get to provide a service to the community. We get to assist the Studer Community Institute in putting these bags together and getting them out there to the brand new moms in this community. But more importantly for us, it's putting people with disabilities to work. It's allowing them to be a part of a community project and to earn a paycheck at the end of the day.
When a new batch of brain bags are assembled, off they go to area hospitals, ready to make a difference for new parents. A baby steps guide, building blocks magazine, 2 baby books, and a toy. It all provides tips, techniques, and resources to develop baby's brain.
So sweet.
The Build a Brain video is based on research done by the 30 Million Word Center at the University of Chicago. 4.5 minutes that can be a life changer for parents. So many easy to grasp and utilize takeaways.
Build that brain from the start. Even though your baby isn't able to talk yet, she hears you when you talk to her. So make sure you talk all the time. How you say it matters. Baby brains need to hear lots of words. But it's not just the number of words that matters, it's the way that you say them. Some people think responding to a baby every time he cries is spoiling him, but you can't spoil a baby.
Learn that the more you respond to the cries, rather than letting them cry, it could change the outcome of them as they get older.
You can't spoil a baby.
That's what we learned.
I think
maybe for me is that the learning starts even when they can't really talk back to you.
Mhm.
So.
Yeah, and that it's just, it doesn't seem hard, but that we don't think to do it.
A great benefit for parents is also an important and unique resource for area hospitals.
I just recently moved to this area about 7 months ago, and I worked at a pretty big hospital up in Northern Virginia, had a really big postpartum unit, had a lot of resources, but I don't think we really had anything quite like this. We would have like a postpartum video that we would show parents as they go home, but it didn't really talk about like child brain development afterwards. So I think it's really important.
Anytime a nurse can give back and empower a family to do something that's very good for their child, it means something to them.
The video is a wonderful tool. We can get busy as well, but to give the mom that education at bedside, that they know that resource is there, that they can look at it here, and as well as going home and scan the barcode and go over it again. So I think it's a wonderful tool to have for these patients, for the moms and the babies, to encourage that development.
This is our first child, so I know there's a lot of information out there. So it can be overwhelming, so it's nice just to have like consolidated information that I know comes from, like, and it's endorsed by medical professionals.
We have older kids, and this wasn't available back then, so I think that would have helped us develop their brains better.
SCI's early brain development efforts don't end with the in-hospital program. Parents are also given the opportunity to sign up for the Basics Insights text messaging service. The free program, developed at Harvard, sends twice-a-week texts giving science-based tips to enhance your baby's growing brain. Add in family outreach sessions and early learning gardens being built around town, and you can see why Pensacola is on the road to becoming America's first early learning city. There are many ways to participate and help the Studer Community Institute make it happen. To learn more, visit studeri.org/early learning city.
Beautiful. Wow, that's a lot of information. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of things though, Donte, that I see, and I'm noticing, I'm going to be very transparent. Mm-hmm. I see you have a lot of young black girls in there. Mm-hmm. Is the reception to this in the community openly grasped onto?
Yeah, I think the entire community see it, and what I've been really impressed with, it doesn't matter if it's a two-parent home, an African American, a single parent. Parents want to do better for their children. And going into the hospitals and seeing our nurses work with our parents, they've done an incredible job of explaining them that it has nothing to do with your race when it comes to your early brain development of your child. Mm-hmm. It has nothing to do with your social economic situation. Mm-hmm. It has to do with you loving, caring, and wanting to do better. And they've been investing that time, and they've been very receptive across all demographics.
Really? That's great to hear. And some of these, like you talked about earlier, are younger parents.
Yes.
And I'm sure they should be, especially with receiving of the text messages, maybe single homes, that you can get this support from somebody that's really taking you by the hand, should I say, and just leading you through the process, through the most formative years of your child.
Yes, yes. And I think that's what they appreciate. The fact that, for one, 90% of people have a cell phone. Makes it very simple, very easy for them. And we really try to deliver it to them through our messaging that this is not to make you feel bad when you receive this text.
Absolutely.
This is an aha moment. This is a moment to say, I meant to read with my baby, but I ended up getting off work yesterday. I missed it. I need to go back and read to my baby. So it's, again, that nudge, that reminder. If we have an appointment and the office calls us and reminds us, we don't get upset. We don't get offended. So let's not be upset and offended when we get a nudge about doing what's best for our child. And I've seen it with younger and even older. Again, I really want to emphasize that our young mothers may not have the knowledge, but they may have the support already at home with their mother who is there for them. So they're not always the individuals that we need to say are not equipped. They just need support. Sometimes it's even our older mothers because they don't have the same energy all the time. Exactly. And so they're like, how am I going to do this with my job, my other 2 children, and I just don't have the same energy that I used to. And so they also are appreciative of it because they get that nudge and that reminder. And then they being able to incorporate their other children and family into this process
the whole
is really
process,
helpful.
and that makes us a family growing event. I love it so. So I encourage you, ladies and gentlemen, take the notes from this. If you want more, it's easy to get back in touch. I mean, there's a website that was given out so you can go online.
Yes, StuderEye.org, and you can find out all the information you would like about the Building Brains program. Again, we want to inform you, we want to equip you, and then we want to support you throughout this process. Because your child is going to grow day by day. We want to make sure that their brain is healthy too.
No doubt. We got a phone call. Let's see. Somebody has something they want to say here. Let's see who's going to talk to us. Good morning.
Good morning. This is Dee.
Hi, Dee.
Hi. It's a very good program he's talking about, and I would like to see if I can volunteer and do something to help Mr. Sheppard. I'm a senior citizen, retired, and I love working with children and newborns.
Oh, how beautiful.
Yes, there is something that she can do. And so, Ms. D, first of all, thank you so much for calling in and having a heart for our program. We have opportunities at Ascension Sacred Heart for you to be able to go into rooms and talk to parents. We call it our education team, where you'll take the time out to educate parents on the importance of early brain development. You will discuss the brain bag with them, and you'll ask them if they're willing to sign up for the text messaging service. You can email me, and let me give you my email.
Well, I don't do email, but I can always call you.
Let's do this, Ms.
Let
D.
me ask you a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you ever heard of a program called Hippie?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Well, I tell you what we're gonna do, Ms. D. We're gonna ask. We're gonna get your phone number.
Yes.
Okay.
And the young lady's gonna take it. So she's gonna take it. Jen, if you would get Miss D's phone number so we can give this to Donte.
Yep, and I'll give you a personal call and we'll talk through this process. Okay.
Now, how do I park the call?
Okay, thank you.
Jen?
That's very good.
Oh, she's
my
a
number is
Okay, I'm going. Thank you, Miss D. Hold on, Miss D. Somebody gonna take that. She's gonna take
512-4947.
Okay, then hold on, Miss D.
Thank you. Have a blessed day.
All righty. I think I just.
The call is parked at 1.
I parked it, guys. I'm learning. But there's another phone call.
Okay, let's talk.
Okay, let's see who we have this time. I hope I'm doing it right. Okay. Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
I am calling to say that I am enjoying the program, and I just love when there's great resources that's out there. And Sonshine, you are doing the thing to make sure that people have the information. Like Build Brain program is such a great program. I love the video. I love everything it stands for. And it's just like with our foster care, we always talk about hijacked brains and attachment, and how when you're spending time with your baby and your kids and stuff like that, you're building an attachment that is very healthy for children, especially when children have trauma and stuff like that. That attachment is what helps alleviate a lot of the trauma that they have. And so this program is just right on alignment with that as well.
Oh, and thank you, because, you know, I know that you work with children. And the fact of it is, here's another one of my cliches. When we put all of those resources we have together, we can make a huge impact. We're building the brain. Look, did you see those people there at Archway building those bags?
I loved it. I said I have never had the chance to actually go there, and I always wanted to. And to actually get a chance to see inside of what they was doing in there is just beyond amazing.
Absolutely. And thank you so much, Dr. Martin, for your support. I appreciate you from the heart.
Thank you, and have a blessed weekend.
All right, love. All right, bye-bye. Everybody, this is what we're talking about, coming together. We got more to talk about. And with Donte Sheppard from the SCI Institute, that's the Student Community Institute, coming up more with Brain Power right here on Sunshine's Corner.
At Pensacola Habitat for Humanity, we believe every child should have a safe place to grow. That's why we work with you and the community to build not just a house, but a home.
She worked very hard to get this house. I really appreciate that because, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here right now.
When you help build a home, you build a future. Pensacola Habitat for Humanity.
This is Wayne at Icon Automotive in Robertsdale, Alabama, and I wanted to tell you more about our powertrain warranty forever. It comes with any vehicle we sell that has 80,000 miles or less at no additional cost to you. We put our vehicles through a tough safety and mechanical inspection before it can have the powertrain warranty forever, giving you a peace of mind with your purchase. This warranty is good anywhere in the country, and it covers 100% of parts and labor with no mileage limit, and is covered as long as you own the vehicle. Come pick out your dealership car at non-dealership pricing with a powertrain warranty forever at Icon Automotive.
Watch a new episode of Crime Stoppers Wanted Fugitives every Friday at 6 p.m., hosted by Sergeant Melanie Peterson and David Craig. Your tips may be eligible for a cash reward, featuring items about officer training, various aspects of police work, and crime prevention information. You'll hear about upcoming family-friendly engagement events as well. Don't miss Crime Stoppers Wanted Fugitives every Friday at 6 p.m.
Go back to being a kid again. Head on over to Bubba's Sweet Spot. We've got house-made caramels, fudge, pralines, marshmallows, and lots and lots and lots and lots of chocolate. Looking for more traditional candy? We've got you. Our walls are covered head to toe in all the classics, from taffy to gummies and lollipops to gumballs. And don't forget our ice cream. With endless toppings and dipped cones, we've got what you're craving. Let us take you back to a time when every problem could be solved with candy. At Bubba's Sweet Spot.
Wow, he said every problem could be solved with candy. Really?
I think candy can solve some problems and cause some problems
you
too.
You got that right.
If you do too much. But that's anything, Sonshine.
That's anything you overdo
if
it.
you overdo it, it can cause some problems.
Maybe that's why my stomach is making that sound.
I think I'm just hungry.
I'm hungry,
We've been up bright and early.
Me and you both. Mm-hmm. Well, listen to this. I tell you, we are talking with Donte Sheppard from the SCI Institute and of a Student Community Institute, where they're doing some great things. I want to say this for, even when I hear, even in the video there, when we were talking about how Quint went back and put all this together, it had to be something you believe in, that you could see the difference and build in Pensacola.
Well, one thing that Quint said is that he wanted to see a thriving community.
Absolutely.
And I think everything that he's done is about creating a thriving community and a better life for people who are here. But when it came to building people or building brains, he didn't want to just invest or treat the symptom, is a word he used, because he has that background in health.
Of
treat
course
the
he does.
symptom when it comes to graduation rates, but he wanted to get to the root. And building brains is the root of things. Just in the United States alone, we only spend about 3% of our funding on each child. That's about $3,600 per year. That's $10 per day.
That's right.
On the development of a child. Very, very low amount of money to invest. But for every penny you put into a child, you'll get a great return on the investment economically. So if you want a thriving community, you need to not just invest in the things that people are doing as adults or teenagers. You need to invest in our children ahead of time, and that's in their early brain development. Kindergarten readiness is now at 50%. That's a good time to clap right there.
Come on now, I tell
because
you.
we've
Let's
come
do it
a
up now.
long
50%,
way.
that we've come a long way.
We've come a long way in
That
our
is
community
excellent.
with development in that area, and it's really important that we continue to drive that, because it's not okay that we're just at 50.
I agree.
We should want every child,
no
matter
Don't
where
leave
they come
anybody
from, no
behind.
matter what they look like, to be at 100% kindergarten readiness. And not only does Quint believe in that, but even our superintendent, Keith Leonard,
he does.
wants that. He has been instrumental in supporting. And when he was placed in his interim position, the first thing he did was call over the Student Community Institute and ask could he have a meeting with us. And we had a chance to start even expand our relationship.
Excellent.
And so we could talk about that a little bit, because after they get to kindergarten, we don't stop. We have
That's
to
a good
continue
point.
to invest into our children.
Absolutely. And that's beautiful. And I love it that when we're using the word to describe what's being done is investment. What greater investment is there than other than your child.
There is no greater
There is
investment.
no greater
Investing
love,
in
no
people.
greater.
That's
Yes.
it. That's human capital.
Absolutely.
Is the greatest investment that you
Absolutely.
can have.
And you look at this, and with this investment, look at the long term, what you're going to get with your investment. These are people for our tomorrow.
Yes.
We want them equipped. We don't want to lack them in any area. So let's impart in them what is most important from during those formative years.
Yes.
And we've got another video that we're going to talk about, because there's another program that's interactive with the SCI Community Institute that you want to share with the listeners, right?
Yes, because I don't just oversee our Building Brains program at our hospitals. We also oversee our sibling brain builders. Again, brain power, like you said.
Brain power.
So we're building on what we've done. So we talked about how siblings can help their little brothers and sisters. Well, we went into our schools, and over the past years, A.A. Dixon, Dixon Arts Academy has been implementing our Sibling Brain Builders program, and CAY's community school has been doing it as well. But this past year, we expanded that program to a total of 4 more schools, to have 6 schools that we're going to implement that program in. And we're so thankful for that program, Sibling Brain Builders program. Also, it's sponsored by Step One Automotive.
Really?
And yes, so this year, our motto is driving literacy.
I love
we
it.
Drive literacy on all levels. So yeah, I would love to see that video, and let's share it with the audience.
That's right.
And give them a chance to see what we do, and then we can talk a little bit more about it, Sunshine.
Everybody, we're going to go to our second video so that you will understand where we're going with the next conversation. Stay close right here as we go into the next video on Sunshine's Corner.
How many of you have 1-year-olds that you read to?
Several schools in the Pensacola area are making an impact as part of Studer Community Institute's Sibling Brain Builder program. It's another initiative in SCI's efforts in building brains to maximize early brain development for all children and improve kindergarten readiness. Sibling Brain Builders empowers older elementary school students, mostly 4th and 5th graders, to read to younger siblings at home, exposing them to more words and helping build their brains. The students turn in reading logs and are incentivized by gifts from SCI, including books and toys. It's been a big hit at Dixon School of Arts and Sciences, with 27 kids participating this year.
They have loved it. And it's not just for the treat, the prize, the book, and the things that we're getting from the Studer Institute for reading. And of course they love that, but it really is that they get this sense of purpose, this developing responsibility, and this ownership of I'm not just reading for myself, but I'm actually guiding and teaching someone else to read.
At Weiss Elementary School, they've been a partner in the Sibling Brain Builder program since it started in 2019. It's become a valuable resource.
It's great because I just know the siblings, and I get a chance to ask them, now and again if they have a younger brother or sister, and then give them that reading log and talk about how important it is. So it's just a part of our program in our media center now.
There is science behind the effort, as research shows that 85% of the brain is developed in the first 3 years of life. And the amount of words a child hears in that critical stage is the key factor in unlocking their potential. The Sibling Brain Builders are realizing the huge impact they're making.
I know that if I do that, they can graduate and become like a doctor or something, or a teacher, because they'll be really smart. She has been learning how to talk like a lot quicker now, because I kept on reading to her. It's pretty cool because I know when she gets older, she's gonna know how to read, and it's gonna be part from me.
One of the kindergartners that was in here reading today with her big brother, she was one of the first kindergartners to meet her reading goal this year. And I'm sure the fact that reading happens at home and at school had a big impact on that.
In many cases, it's not just extra reading to for the younger siblings. It might be the only exposure in a home with overloaded parents.
If the grown-ups don't have time to read to the siblings, like you can help them, because if they have a lot on their plate, you just can help them read to the babies and stuff.
It's pretty cool because I also help my mom with her. Like, she has to do a lot of stuff, so I'm helping my mom too, helping her. So yeah, I've been helping a lot.
It turns out the program comes with an added benefit. In addition to helping their younger siblings, the older kids have seen huge improvements in their reading skills.
I've learned that it's fun to read, because back then I didn't really like reading as much as I do now. It helps my comprehension too.
The benefits for the older child are so valuable and should not be overlooked, because some of those older children, they might be shy to read in front of their peers, but they get a chance to read and actually improve their own fluency by reading to their younger siblings.
The Sibling Brain Builder program is a win for everyone, with grander payouts still to come.
The goal when you interview and or screen any incoming kindergartner is that they have some sense of a foundation, something with their letter recognition, something with numbers, and that these siblings, these 4th and 5th graders, are helping to develop that foundation. It's just amazing and very, very helpful. Just inspired by what the Studer Institute has brought to us.
If we're going to be a successful community, we need our children to be able to succeed at school. And if they're not ready for kindergarten, we know that's simply not going to happen. We're really grateful about the partnerships that we have with the schools. We couldn't do it without them. They're the ones who are implementing it, giving the books to the children, allowing the time for reading, encouraging it at home, and then doing the testing so that we have the results that we need to show that the program works.
The Sibling Brain Builder program is just one of many SEI initiatives in building brains and the drive to make Pensacola America's first early learning city. To learn more and get involved, visit studeri.org/early learning city.
Thank you.
I just remembered it's election day. Are you going to vote?
I don't know. I don't think I'll have time today.
Millions of eligible voters in America never make it to the polls or even register to vote. When you don't vote, you're letting other people make decisions for you and pick the things your taxes will pay for. Voting is more than a civic duty. It gives you a voice about the priorities and the future of your community and our nation. Voting gives you a seat at the table.
Well, I think it's all about local, and I'm a big believer in local. So I think anytime you can carry a message out locally, it's important. And I think it's anytime the person that delivers the service can also deliver the message, which is unusual. You have the people that actually deliver the project doing the talking, and I think that's a huge difference, and really makes a huge value difference for the consumer. So I'm really just so grateful that we have this local opportunity with Blab TV. My name is Quint Studer, and I am Blab TV.
The Reesburg Institute, Pensacola's ear, nose, throat, and voice center. We welcome you to visit us at our convenient Davis Highway location in Pensacola. At the Reesburg Institute, we offer the most advanced treatment available in a calm, stress-free environment. Since 2014, we've performed over 1,000 cases in office of balloon sinus surgery, as well as septoplasty and nasal procedures using oral sedation. The in-office procedures result in a faster healing time. Visit us and feel the difference.
Hello, my name is Eric, and this was my first visit to Little John's. The selection, the pricing here, and the customer service were outstanding. I would definitely recommend. The staff was very friendly, and they'll get you what you need.
Hi, this is John with Little John's Big and Tall here in Pensacola, Florida at 5700 North Davis Highway. Check us out at littlejohnsbigandtall.com, where we can take care of you with extra large up to 14X and large tall to 6X tall.
And welcome back to Sunshine's Corner. You know how I almost said welcome back to the Studer Institute? Oh, wow.
Studer Institute, Studer Community Institute has taken over the Sunshine Show.
Took over my show, man. But listen to this. With that video, it's all about teaching people how to read.
Yes.
The comprehension of those young people, what they're doing. And I got to say this, the little guy. He said, well, I didn't do this back then, but now that I am, and I see I like to read now, and I'm comprehending what I read, and I can even help my mom.
Yeah. It just shows. I mean, it's really important. He realizes he's grown, and he just feels like he's a big boy now.
He's the big boy now.
Yeah.
He said, come on, let's read this book. But I could see in all of the kids' faces by them picking the books and just going through the pages that there is an interest in learning how to read and comprehend as you read.
Yeah, I think that with kids, Sunshine, they're interested in whatever you show them and whatever you are joyful about and whatever you emphasize is important for them. And I think just how we approach reading may need to be tweaked a little bit.
Absolutely.
You know, how we talk to our kids about reading and not make it a punishment, not make it a negative thing. But the same way you talk about taking them to the park,
right,
is the same way you need to talk about us going to read, and also doing it as a family.
Absolutely.
Really
I agree with that. Oh, Lord, yes.
Incorporating that. And again, I want to emphasize, you don't have to read for long periods of time. If you can only do about 15 minutes together, then do those 15 minutes together and build up on it. But we've had a chance to build this program, Sonshine.
I got you.
We expanded it to 4 other schools.
Right.
So now we'll be working in 6 schools. We have someone in the school that is going to champion the program. They'll make sure that the kids are getting involved in it and participating. They use an incentive program within the school, but then we come in and support them. So every semester, at the end of the semester, after they record and report their amount of time they've read through our online Google form, they will give us the information, and then we're going to host a party for them. And so they really love that party, and
that's
they
going to
wait
get them
on
into,
that party.
I mean, interested. Yeah,
yes.
of course.
So that's really, and that's all because of our sponsors. Like I said, Step One Automotive, they sponsored us, and they provide us some financial support so that we can provide these incentives for these children. And it's been great. Even this summer, we had a chance to do the program.
Really?
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
So we was like, hey, what are we going to do for June and July? They have this thing called the summer gap, or summer slide, excuse me. And that summer slide is when kids lose about 30% of what they learned during the school year.
Right.
We don't want them to lose their reading capability, their literacy skills. And so we piloted the program at Cobb Center, Woodland Heights Resource Center, and Fricker Resource Center. Yes. And over 200 kids participated this summer. And it was over 600 minutes being read. And what we did is they assigned a time each week, 2 or 3 times a week, 15 minutes of more. And siblings read to siblings, peers read to peers, or they read alone as well. And we believe that was very helpful. The leaders at each facility felt the same way.
But of course.
And then we hosted a pizza party, and we brought gifts for them reading.
That incentive.
So, yes, we want them to know that if you go to, if your kid runs a touchdown, you go buy him some,
That's
you give them incentives. Well, if you read, you scored for yourself.
Absolutely.
And we want to make sure that they get something for that too.
That is excellent. And I love the way that you're incorporating in these different communities.
Yes.
But we got the foundation of everything to get them all elevated.
Yes.
To the level that they need to be, and to maintain even during the summer.
Yes.
So they won't lose that 30%.
Yes. We want to make sure that they continue to develop.
You see, and that's what I'm talking about. How can people be a part of that? How can people help?
Well, the first thing you can do is you can support us by sharing our posts. Make sure that you like our Student Community Institute social media pages, because we want to inform people, and your reach could become our reach, and we can help people. Not only that, you can volunteer. There are plenty of ways where you can volunteer with our programs, whether you want to go into hospitals and help parents there, or if you want to support our schools. You can reach out to me by emailing me at dshepard@studereye.org. Once again, that's dshepard@studereye.org. And then we can connect and talk more about how you can support us. And then most of all, we are a nonprofit organization.
Exactly.
So we need your help. And so if you want to sponsor one of our programs and support in that area, provide some financial support, we would love for you to do that as well. Or you can be involved with some of our great events. Coming up in December is our gingerbread competition, and you can support there. And then save the date for those who've been to Light Up Learning, because we've set a date at the Blue Wahoo Stadium. It will be March 6th, Light Up Learning, and that's all about building brains.
Absolutely.
We can't wait for you to be there.
Look, now you said the ginger competition.
Yes.
What is that? Bacon?
Yes. So you can enter the competition to create a gingerbread house. And this year it is Candyland. And not only do we have that, but we have our bingo going on. We have cookie creating going on. We have Santa that's going to be in the house as well. And it's just a great community event. We want to thank Rishi and Mallory Studer. This is one of their favorite events. It's just to bring cheer to our community, and it also gives them a chance to support our programs as well.
Absolutely. Well, as you can see, there's a lot going on that you can be a part of. And I think what you should take away from this today mostly, help your children, help our children. Let's come together, as we always say, as a community, that village, so that we can make sure that our kids are equipped with what they need to be successful, so they can succeed through each year.
Yes.
You know, teach them to read. I agree with one thing you said. I thought that was very powerful. Do not allow them to think that reading is a punishment.
Yes.
No, oh, you're going to go in and read that book now. No. Well, sweetheart, let's do something else. But it's the way of the delivery. It also causes our children the way they receive.
The way they receive it. Yep.
Absolutely.
I agree.
And I can't thank you enough for getting up. Both of us hungry, but that's okay.
We'll get some breakfast soon.
We'll get some breakfast soon.
Because we like our coffee a little different.
You know it, we do. But Donte, I want to thank you for all that you do.
Thank you.
For reaching our community. And my motto is, how do you reach your community? By serving.
Yes.
And you are definitely serving on a high altitude, and continue to do that. Because it's about our children. And I strongly believe the more we empower them with, the better they're going to be for the future for us.
Yes.
And with the Studer Community Institute, hats off to them.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and it was a joy and honor to be on Sunshine's Corner.
Oh, thank you, love. Well, everybody, I tell you, it seems like when we're having a great time, the time just seems to fly by. Well, get ready, because Monday is going to be a great day as well. I'm pretty sure you remember Dr. Ian Smith, yes, with Celebrity Fit Club. He's got this book that he's going to come on and talk to us about, all about reading. All about reading. He's going to be my guest on Monday. But I'm going to leave it with you today, as I do every single day. Never, ever lose your focus. Always remember, if you keep God first in everything that you do, I'll guarantee you this, you will be a total success. So this weekend, be safe, have a great weekend, do the right thing, get involved with the SCI, and get involved with building the brain for children. There are ways that you can help our children. Please don't let this opportunity pass, because we as a community can better our children for tomorrow. So until Monday morning at 9 o'clock for another day of nothing but sunshine, know that I love you with a perfect kind of love. Keep right on shining, my friends, while I'm gone. Have a great weekend. Sunshine's Corner, being brought to you by Quint and Rishi Studer.